Hello, this is Caesar. It's been quite a long time since I've done a vlog like this. Last time I did a vlog was August 20th, 2014. The film, This Way Forward, is now back in full pre-production. And so I was working at Starbucks, which is by far like one of the worst jobs I ever had, especially Target Starbucks. But then I ended up getting a video production job with a military base here in southwest Oklahoma. So after a year of that and kind of building up my skills, I gained some confidence, and it's a well-paying job, so I was able to put some money aside to kind of get the film going again. So what happened with the Indiegogo money I raised? I raised a little under $600 once Indiegogo took their cut. I really didn't think at the time that it would be a good idea just to film a couple of scenes, or to make a trailer. So I took that money and invested in myself. I invested it in After Effects tutorials, and I also taught myself something that I never thought I'd ever do, and that's 3D. The program I use of choice, and there's so many out there, but I just use Cinema 4D because it integrates really well with the Adobe suite. The cool thing about that is that my original budget was almost like $5,000, and now and that was because I had to pay somebody to do the 3D stuff, but now I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have a friend of mine just do the compositing, which is just the layering and making sure everything like blends together. But the 3D stuff is probably like the most difficult part. So I'll be doing that now, and that's like the biggest difference. For the original investors in Indiegogo, you're no longer going to be credited as producers. You'll now be just thanked. The reason for that is because it's quite simple. Like, I have people here that are actually like producing, that they're actually like on the field and trying to like secure locations, and they completely deserve that credit, and they're making like no money at all whatsoever. So I feel like they're definitely worthy of that, and I'm very, very grateful to the people, mostly family and very close friends, that donated to my original campaign. I will be thanking you in the credits as such. One of the coolest things that I figured out during this whole like 2 years is it really helps if you team up with a nonprofit. So I teamed up with a local nonprofit here in Lawton. They're called the 580 Roller Girls, and they're a roller derby team. In exchange, like, I've done media work for them. I've taken their official photos. I'm working on doing some video products for them, and use your craft, your filmmaking craft, to try to enhance someone else's appeal. A business. I mean, commercials, they could cost money. Well, that location looks really nice. I'll trade you. I'll do photos. I'll do video for your business. And if you could let me use your location, I mean, there's nothing wrong like against that. And if you deal with people that personally own the building, well, it's even better, because then you don't have to get city permits and stuff like that. So I would highly recommend anybody to team up with a local nonprofit. So the 580 Road Girls, you guys are awesome. The original makeup artist that I contacted, her name was Jackie Van Horn. I sent her an email like about 3 months ago, and she responded to me so fast, and she basically said, hell, F yes. I'm still interested, and when do we start? And so yeah, I dedicate about a third of the budget to her expenses, because quite honestly, I think she's worth it. If I could give her like $500,000, I would. But she's unbelievably talented. So this is a sculpt that she did of the clicker, and she's going to be in charge of all the special effects makeup for this film, and I'm just really excited to have her along. I'm a digital guy, CG's all around us, and it was so easy to just say that, well, the creatures, I could make them in CG, but we've all seen I Am Legend, we've all seen bad visual effects. I'm really, really a proponent of, if you can make it live, then shoot it live. And I don't like the idea of fixing something in post. Like, there are things that that CGI is really good at. Set extensions, things that are solid, things that are made out of metal. I think there's a part of it that's like easier by doing it live, because at least you're there and you get to react, and it helps your actors out, because like your actors are now interacting with something that's like right there instead of like just a tennis ball or whatever. Camera package. So originally I was going to shoot this on my Canon T4i with the Magic Lantern plugin or hack or whatever. I was going to try to shoot it raw back then, but camera technology has actually come pretty far since then. Right now, I'm going to just shoot it on the Sony a7S. I'm going to get the Atomos Ninja Flame 4K recorder, the one that has a 10-bit monitor, so that way I know truly the image that I'm looking at. We film on the weekend of June 10th, so it's June 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, those 4 days, and there's still a lot of things that I have to do. Well, one of the biggest things is I have to secure production insurance. I got a quote from someone locally. It's like a special event permit. They quoted me $344, which I thought was a little high, but I'm kind of limited here in Lawton. That's actually kind of low because I was looking at places up in Los Angeles and other places that offer production insurance, and they were as high as $500-700 for just a couple of days. But then I have to take it out on other things in the budget, so we're probably not gonna eat that day now. I want to shoot in downtown Lawton, and so they won't allow it unless you have $1 million liability policy, and that's just the way it is. It's just the cost of doing business. I mean, the good thing is that I have incorporated a business since I first started this 2 years ago, so now I can write everything off. I mean, I still have to spend money, and it is, for all intents and purposes, it is my money, but at least I could write it off as an expense, and that's like a really good thing. So I would highly recommend anybody that's going to do this. If you're going to spend more than like $1,000, incorporate yourself, make an LLC. But that does mean now that you have to keep track of your stuff. Like, you can't just have receipts all over the place and look up old credit card statements to see what you spend. Like, you have to kind of like put yourself together and actually like organize yourself, which, I mean, I'm not like the most organized person in the world. My wife can attest to that. It's really important that you keep track of like your paperwork, the stuff you spend, gas consumption, even taking your actors out to eat. You could write that off. So it's very important that you keep track of all this stuff, because it will help you out at the end of the year when you file your taxes. And finally, I have actors. My daughter Savannah, who was how old were you? 10? You were 10, right? Yeah, you were 10 at the time. She was 10 at the time, and I wrote the part for like a 12-year-old girl. Well, now she's actually 12. And coming over here, Savannah. There's Savannah. Come on, quickly. Here's Savannah. See, she's a 12-year-old girl, so she's still in it. We just had our first read-through between her and the person playing her older sister. Her name is Cassie Stenga, and she's a local model / actress in town. And I was really, the visual effects that I have in my mind, they're an idea. They're gonna bring them into fruition. I have live-action makeup, and I have locations like all over. It's a highly ambitious film, but none of that means anything if the chemistry between them didn't work. And me and my wife, we were like really surprised, and when we heard them just like doing the read-through, and they were making up lines. They were kind of like making up lines, and I'm not a stickler for like the script either. Like, they were making up lines just so it could sound better, and they were just doing it like right there on the spot. And when you can have that kind of chemistry with your actors, you can create a beautiful thing. Oh, we're holding auditions, right? When are we holding them? June
4th,
2006. Oh, 2016, sorry. June 4th, 2016, we're holding auditions at the Lawton Public Library, and it's mostly to fulfill the supplemental roles. We still have a lot of roles that we need to cast. We have a good chunk of the main ones, but there are very few critical ones that we need to be filled. We hope to see everyone there. So this is Caesar with Sojourn Entertainment, just updating you guys finally after 2 long years.